Hello everybody, 𝘾𝙈𝙈𝙀𝙈 here, welcome back to a brand new video, and today we'll be reviewing the Greyhill incident. We've just finished on our playthrough on the channel, just to give my thoughts overall and, you know, my takes on the gameplay, audio, visuals, things like that, like normal. It'll be a nice quick video and I hope you all enjoy. So to kick things off, my overall thoughts of the game was, oddly enough, for saying it's kind of like an indie horror game, it seems to have quite a low budget. No, I don't mean that in an offensive way. You know, a lot of low budget games are really good, and I'd add this one to the list. You know, it was good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a bit short, but you know, the price tag kind of matched the length of the game and the quality of it. It wasn't too bad. But yeah, my overall thoughts was I thoroughly enjoyed it. My viewers on the channel thoroughly enjoyed it. It's definitely worth checking out. I'll have a link at the end of the video to the rest of the playlist for the Greyhill incident gameplay. But yeah, overall, it was good. It had a lot of jump scares, and it probably was the scariest game I've played. For saying how like low quality it was, it was really quite good. So my overall thoughts on the audio was that there's hardly any in it, to be fair. It's a lot of it is just like footsteps, trees moving, like just the background noise really. There's hardly any music in the game. There is occasionally spikes of music. I think a lot of the times when an alien pops up, there's a bit of music goes along with it. Oh, and talking about the aliens that pop up, when your character sees that, when they are coming for you and your character finally sees them, because they sneak up on you very quietly, so you can't really hear them. You can, when they get close enough to you, you can hear the footsteps, but they don't really make any noise until they're really close. And then when you turn around, there's a very jolting like string music, and I think that's might be the scariest part, is the music. And then there's just a little green dude in front of you. So I think they used what little music they had very well. The voice acting, it was, I don't know, it was, the voice acting itself weren't horrific. I think it was more the way it was edited together. Like characters were over talking each other, and sometimes there was like no pauses, so it sounded just like one long sentence. Yeah, I think the audio sort of mixing needed a little bit more work just for that, solely because it just sounded a bit funny. But the actual voice acting, it weren't horrific, to be fair. It kind of adds to the quirky charm of the game, I suppose. Gameplay wise, it doesn't hold your hand at all. It's literally go, and then that's pretty much it. It gives you the odd hint like go up to this to hide in hide in a barrel and things like that, but for the most part it literally just pops up and says find Ethan or something, Ryan, and then that's literally it. Like, he could be anywhere. The only way I sort of figured out how to work it was you go a certain way and your character sort of just says like, I don't think I can go this way yet, or I shouldn't go this, something along those lines. And then obviously like I've gone too far past the objective, or at least the entrance to it. So you sort of get ideas, and then all the main gateways are the same sort of metal gate, and it just like slides across. So once you start finding the visual cues, oh, and there was also some like big handheld lanterns. They're also sort of markers. So if you follow them and listen to sort of the odd audio cue and look for the gates, you basically navigate your way through. But other than that, you know, there's no map or anything like that. In fact, I don't think there's any HUD whatsoever until you get your hand grenade and aim, and it tells you how many bullets you've got left. But other than that, there's nothing on screen. You don't have a health bar or anything like that. You literally just get like grabbed by the aliens, and if you don't break out quick enough, or they grab you too many times in a row, then you get abducted. You know, so that basically means you're dead. Essentially, that's like a kill screen, and then you got to restart from your last checkpoint. The game itself is kind of, it's not clunky or anything, but it's low budget, I think, and it comes across, it's not always fluid. Yeah, there's not really a lot to interact with. There's a couple of books you can pick up and just sort of spin around in like free space, and there's like I said, there's objectives to pick up, like fuel and stuff. But then that just goes into like your mystery back pocket sort of thing, your backpack that you know stocks all your items in. So you never physically holding out. All you have is a light, which I don't think I even used because it made an irritating noise because it's like a hand crank thing, and then it also did not light a single thing up, which I'll get to in the graphics in a second. But it was useless. It was just absolutely useless. The baseball bat was also useless. That was, you needed pinpoint accuracy and timing to whack an alien, and even then you needed to do it 3 times in a row to knock him down, but it didn't kill him. It just stuns him on the floor and then they get back up. So it's pointless, and it only gets used like 2-3 times to open doors, which basically is like there's a door and then it's boarded up and you basically just use it to break the boards, and that is it. And the last thing I probably want to touch on is the mouth character animations, the character the way the mouths moved. It was like an old school game, it's like, kind of like that. It's like one position sort of thing. It's not like these new games where that everything it looks almost bang on to what they're speaking. It sometimes the mouth was moving and there wasn't actually like no audio. Nobody was speaking. It's like carried on, or I don't know, the mouth was just moving more than the words sometimes and things like that. But like again, once you remember it's a low budget sort of thing, you kind of adds to the charm of it, I suppose. It's not a game breaker. It didn't like, this is the worst thing I've ever played. I've played a lot worse AAA £60 games, let me tell you. So it was actually quite good. The story, I thought, I'm not going to touch on it too much, but it's basically a generic story about an alien abduction in a farm town. There's aliens, there's abductions, there's little green dudes running around. It's very Signs-esque without the crop circle. I don't think I actually saw a crop circle. You see a lot of ships. There's a lot of different characters. You meet pretty much everybody in the neighborhood, so it's kind of, that's kind of cool. Everyone's got their own weird little quirks and what you think about the government and aliens and things like that. The main guy you talk to, who's a bit of a quirky character, is probably the best character in the game, and probably one of the best characters in a lot of games. He's completely insane, but he's a bit of a breath of fresh air, and he's a bit like me, the way I actually acted like day-to-day life. So I don't know, I kind of resonated with him. And there's a very cool cat as well, which if you watch my videos, you will see my very lovely reaction to this amazing cat. A quick note on the graphics, because there's not really much to talk about graphics wise. It's a very dark game. There's a lot of fog in certain parts as well, which made it hard to see. The torch was useless. It didn't illuminate anything. By the end of the game, I had to turn my brightness way up to the full gamma on the game itself, because I was just struggling. I was just like playing like that, and nobody wants to see my forehead like right up in the face. So yeah, it was very dark, but I did like the visual cues of like the little lanterns are kind of guiding you to each location and things like that. So I thought that was quite cool. But other than that, because it's so dark, there's not a great deal for the graphics wise. It's it's no Battlefield or Cyberpunk, but it's also not bad. You know what I mean? There's some low budget games that are shocking. It's not PlayStation 1, Xbox, PlayStation 2 graphics. It's a bit better than that. It's still modern-ish, but it was all right for the price point. What you pay, it's not horrific. It's what you pay, what you get. My overall thoughts on it is, what? If you got a spare 20 quid, you want a quick horror game. I think, it took me like 4 hours to finish. If you want a quick horror game to play, that's a good. It's average story. You've played it, and you've seen it before, but it's done fairly funny in comedic way. I'd pick it up. And if you're an achievement hunter, it's dead easy to get. You get all of them for just playing the game, pretty much. Yeah, it's got its quirks, and it's you know, it's nothing special. It's no GTA 6. It's not going to be like this ultra realistic thing. But for 20 quid, I think the developers did amazing with the money they had. So yeah, I would get it if you can. If you're not missing out on anything. But my hat's falling off. There we go. If you all enjoyed, please consider having a look around the rest of the channel. Hopefully you find something you like. If you do, please consider subscribing. It really does mean a lot. And I hope to see everybody in the next one. Bye guys.